Sweet, welcome back to Studio 26, and by the end of this short 11-minute tutorial you will learn, or will have learned, how to do a nice skin taper with a nice square shape on top, maintaining that round fringe to sweep over. So first of all, what we're going to do, I am sectioning from the crown, almost like a horseshoe, but I'm going directly into the crown and not looping it around, making the hair lie the way it wants to. Then I'm going to pull out diagonally and create some square sections, as you can see, fingers pointing to the floor, not that tight to the head, just to maintain a bit of weight. Exactly the same on this left hand side. So starting from just as the back starts to round off and working forward, and we'll come to the crown area, the back of the head in a minute, just matching both of them sides in. And now to cross check them, I'm just going to pull out straight off the head 90 degrees, and just to see if there's anything I have missed. So the back, to build some weight, what we're going to do, I'm going to create some diagonal sections again, starting from the right and working across. So I've got my first, then I'm going to pull everything over just on top of that. As you can see, working across the head from right to left. Now just to cross check and make sure there's no massive overhangs in that corner. After that, what we're going to do, going to connect the sides to the top because we don't want it disconnected, want it nicely connected in. So what I've done, from the crown straight through to the eyebrows, not a perfect line because we're going from the crown like the first section. So just remember that when doing this. Then we're going to pull out 90 degrees ahead, 90 degrees off the head again, and you can lift the hair up and match it up to the hair below, because that's the hair we've already cut when doing the first section. So the top, what I've done, I've just picked the hair up from the front and I've asked my client how much he wants off. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to diagonal section. Why have I done that? Well, if a diagonal section, I'm going to have to twist my fingers in an awkward way to show the client how much they would like off. So I picked it up from the front first, put my guideline in. Now I'm going to diagonal section. You can just see, in the middle of my fingers is with the guideline. Then I'm going to create my shape on top with it, horizontal, center profile guide. My bad. Then we're not all perfect, are we? Just remember that. Then I'm going to use that guideline. I'm going to create that square shape on top. The first cut is in the middle, second cut to the left, third cut to the right. Then I'm just going to make sure that fringe isn't too bulky on the right hand side. Ignore me here, I'm just having a bit of banter with two clients who walked in saying that their barber wasn't in and he's gone home. Lo and behold, he was in the back room. Don't worry, they took it as a joke. After that, I'm just going to cross check over the crown very quickly to make sure there's no massive corner. After that, I'm going to come to the fringe and I'm just going to snip the ends off the fringe, taking it a bit shorter to the right. The right hand side where I am now, then the client's right hand side, which is the left. If we look at this side now, the left hand side of his head, I'm going to create it a bit longer. That maintains that sweep. So just doing that. Once we have done that, I'm going to dry it all off. Start with the back, no nozzle on, blast the crown down nice and cold just to make sure it doesn't stick up. After that, dry nozzle on, drying and styling the way the hair lies, the way we've cut it, and the way we want to style it. Just remember, when drying, it's a very important process of the haircut, and styling makes the haircut pop even more. After this, what I have done, waxing number 4 on my clipper, I'm just going to take a bit of the weight down below the scissor cut we did before. So I'm just running this fork, flicking out, as you can see, right at the top. Well, not right at the top, right into the top is what I mean where the weight is that we created. So as you can see, that weight, I'm just flicking into that. After that, I've took a 3, opened it up, and just going just under that, reducing some of the weight, prepping for the taper area. As you can see, just working down. After this, got my trimmer. I'm going to pop my skin line in. So, medium taper, I normally just do just below the top of the ear, as you can see right there. After that, match it up to the right hand side, and we're going to come to the back. Now, and we're going to pop him a medium taper. Not too high, not too low, just above where just starting where the contrast is all the same, as you can see. So it'll give me a nice platform to fade into, or to fade off, whatever you got to call it. After that, foil out, just flicking out with the foils, nothing too serious, not putting any lines in. That's the last thing we want to do at this stage. So ignore my chat. Well, you won't be able to hear my chat, luckily, but excuse me gassing to my client. Right, this is probably what you all are here for, the fade bit. So, open lever, going up about a centimetre. After that, I'm just going to close my lever and flick through the trimmer line into the open lever. After that, 2 on, I'm just going to run that 2 up just below where that 3 and 3.5 left us before. As you can see, that's brought the contrast in that area right down. So we can start our fade and descend into the open lever, which is 0.5. 1.5 closed, is going to flick below. Always this process, you're flicking below the area, well, the guard used before. So in this area, always just get lower and lower and lower until the guideline is completely gone. 1, open. Now just flicking through that line again, closed it as you can see, just knocking out using the Babyliss Lithium FX clipper, banging clipper, bit of a slow RPM, but they're solid for tapers. After that, half guard, half open, just to flick through and refine. As you see, that taper is looking crisp. Ignore my client, he doesn't like being on camera, joking, he loves it. So, moving on to the right hand side, same process, 2 after the open lever, working all the way down using your guards nicely to get rid of that line. And the back. So just watch how high I take my half. Just a bit higher at the back because we have a bit more room to play with. We don't want to go too high in the temple areas, do we? So knocking that trimmer line out. Now with closed lever, always use your fade brush just to brush away the hair to make the area you're working on nice and clean. So 2, 1.5 closed. Now coming in with the 1.5. Just look, every time I get a new guard, I'm coming down and down. I'm not going to it, remember, we are descending to the line, making that fade look nice. After that, I've just switched to the half open, flicking through. And now what we're going to do, just going to refine that line out. So I had a 2 going into a 3. Obviously, the middle guard, 2.5, you probably guessed it. That's what we're using. So just knocking that out. Then I'm going to come and refine the taper out with my scissors. As you can see, I'm not going to that weight line, which is just above this bit. I'm just focusing on that taper area first to get that crisp before we move on to knocking that weight line out. Now, as you can see, I've started to knock that weight line out. First of all, I'm going to use my scissor over comb and just work up square, as you can see, from the bottom to the top. Not going in, not coming out. I'm just going to work straight through the hair. So, once we've done that, I've just changed my comb and I'm just going to refine now. So, as you see, all that prep we did before made this process a lot easier at the end. I've just got my thinning scissors, I'm just taking out a tidgy bit of weight where required. After that, time for the line up. Also, if you don't know whether to line a client up, just ask them. It's simple as that. Not all clients want lining up at the front. I know some of mine don't. So, line up at the front, line up over the end nice and sharp. So, from the front, then we're going to work from the top to the bottom. Pop in that line in first, then just remove all the hair after that, up to the line. And over to the other side, same process applies. That's just me and my client having a look on Shooter's Instagram. About a prank we did. If you don't know what it is, hop over there. It's pretty fun. It involves talc and a hairdryer and someone getting blasted with it. But here's the end result. Cheeky wink from Charlie. Cheers for being a model, mate. So there's the taper, nice and clean. So hopefully in this, well, it's not even 11 minutes. It's 10 and a half. So even better, you get 33 seconds. So use it wisely, practice it, save it, and hopefully, if you want more, subscribe, like, and stay around. See you soon.